Good afternoon and welcome to the OBX Wave Report here at Jennette's Pier on Friday the 13th, another Friday for a future episode as we look out into a stormy North Atlantic here with looks like 2 to 3 foot waves here at Jennette's Pier and some surfers catching some great leaps here off the pier. Beautiful day, actually very glassy. Surprisingly, we've got a lull in the winds and the surfers enjoying some beautiful waves rolling in here off the stormy North Atlantic. And it's interesting because the wind here is coming out of the southeast. I expected the flow to be more southward, so we're getting more of an eastward component here. That's interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on conditions to see if we get more of an onshore flow here or if that's just a little bit of a fluke as the front passes through here. But in any case, we're getting light winds off the southeast coming in about 5 to 7 miles per hour and 2 to 3, maybe even 2 to 4 foot waves here off of Jennette's Pier on the afternoon of Friday the 13th, another Friday for a future episode as we do a lot of climate talks for our OBX wave reports today. We're focusing in on climate science and extreme weather. And our hearts go out to the folks in California who right now are still experiencing very extreme conditions, very extreme rains, floods, severe snows, landslides, heavy surf, and all of the various extreme conditions out there. Expected to at least continue through this weekend with maybe some of the medium to long range models possibly looking at some abatement, but no abatement in the near term with many of the weather experts right now that I'm listening to saying no end in sight, although global forecast system model is pointing to a possible future abatement in the medium to long term. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for California, but please, folks out there in California, listen to your local weather and climate experts for your official updates and your local emergency management officials, and please stay safe. I'll definitely be hoping for that global forecast system model to be bringing you guys some abatement, but right now, the situation is still looking pretty intense for you guys. Even as we here on the East Coast experience some extreme weather as well. We got some thunderstorms. Oh, nice right-hand turn here. And off the lip. Beautiful ride here at Jennette's Pier. But yeah, even as we here on the East Coast experience some extreme weather, you'll note the very cloudy conditions, although most of the stormy weather is pushing off to the east here in the Outer Banks. And yet we do expect some gale force conditions to start to kick up for the near offshore waters and some strong winds to start to kick up for the coastal regions of the Outer Banks as well. And right now, though, we are enjoying some beautiful surf conditions at Jennette's Pier. Glassy conditions as the swells roll in kind of a placid and peaceful manner, but we are getting some good swells here at Jennette's Pier with some good waves for these surfers, although the ocean waters are pretty cold, so they are needing to dress up to get their cold weather gear up and to stay warm in those 50 to 52 degree water temperatures. Pretty cold out there. You want to have your cold weather gear to get out into surf at this time of year in January. Although air temperature is not too cold right now, I'd say in the upper 50s to lower 60s here at Jennette's Pier. And got a little lull in the swell right now, pretty flaccid. And waves might be starting to form up again. But overall, very beautiful, very glassy conditions here at Jennette's Pier. I'm going to go ahead and pan down the coastline so you guys can see the waves breaking Here off Jennette's Pier, I'm looking to the south, down the coastline. On the afternoon of Friday, January the 13th. And we're going to be doing another Friday for Future talk, this time about the storm surge poles that are all up and down the Outer Banks and the potential for severe storms here to have impacts even as the oceans continue to steadily rise due to fossil fuel burning and related global heating. The surfers out here today enjoying a nice break, nice surf conditions, very glassy and placid surf conditions despite recent stormy weather here on the Outer Banks. Let's see if I can get a few more rides here for you guys off Jennette's Pier as we enjoy the ocean together. It's like a few ripples offshore, might be a swell forming up. It is worth noting that wave conditions further to the south are much larger, at least according to the reports. We have reports anywhere from 4 to 7 foot surf down there at Buxton and 4 to possibly 8 foot surf down there at Billy Mitchell Airport. I haven't gotten any direct observations down there, but it was looking pretty stormy earlier in the day, so likely rather high surf conditions down there as well. No real big swells lining up here, but some small swells. We did get a nice set in here earlier. Looks like the surfers repositioning themselves to try and take advantage of the closer to shore break as they wait for another swell to form up here, another swell to form up here off Jennette's Pier. Looks like we got some porpoises offshore. See if I can catch these porpoises swimming far offshore for you guys. A little pod of porpoises coming in from the north and then moving on toward the south. Also got a couple of, looks like gulls, seagulls are resting on the ocean surface. Might be pelicans, but I think those are seagulls. Oh, there we go. There's another porpoise out there. There you go. Just slightly to the right of plane. There we go. You see them? Really pretty far out there. There we go. Beautiful little pod of porpoises swimming on from north to south as the surfers enjoy waiting for the waves. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a potential paddle in here. And I got one surfer charging the swell and nice left-hand turn, a little backside, some pumps. And yeah, nice little ride there. We got another nice wave breaking here just to the south of the pier. And another surfer trying to position himself for a wave. Maybe a little late for this one. Yep, a little late. So enjoying the surf conditions here, both with surfers and porpoises. Enjoying some nice 2 to 3, possibly 2 to 4 foot waves on the larger sets here at Jennette's Pier. But a relatively slow ingress of waves here at Jennette's Pier. Not very heavy conditions. Very light conditions, although with some larger surf than yesterday for certain here at Jennette's Pier. We'll see if we can get one more wave for you guys before we go on to our next segment, which will be a Friday for Future segment over at the storm surge poles. There's storm surge poles all up and down the Outer Banks. It's pretty wild. seabirds flying, and then porpoises swimming off to the south. Might be dolphins. I can't really tell whether or not it's porpoises or dolphins. Let's see if we can get one more wave for you guys as the surfers wait for a swell here off Jennette's Pier. Looks like a nice swell forming up. And we've got a surfer positioning himself on the shoulder of a wave. May make it. He's paddling. Oh, yeah. A drop and a left-hand turn. Woo! Oh, and looks like we've got another follow-on. Not quite getting into the wave on that one. Nice little swell rolling in here. All right, and that will conclude our surfing observations here at Jennette's Pier as we enjoy some surprisingly calm conditions down here at the coast following stormy nights with thunderstorms rolling through here at Nag's Head and Manio and Jennette's Pier. So thank you for joining me, and I will be back with you shortly.